Welcome to episode 58 of Pineapples and Thorns. I'm Kat, and with me is Fado. Hey, Fado, how's it going?
Hey. All right. All right. How are you?
I'm doing well. Beautiful summer evening out there. For once,
Nope.
we're not recording in the early
Nope.
hours of the morning.
It's raining and it's
Oh,
fine.
dear. But that's
We
good.
haven't we've had very little of that, so I'm happy to see it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, we've got a lot on the agenda tonight, so I'm just going to jump right into some CFF news. For SCCWL, Red Thorn stayed in Champs 3. The Rated stayed in Masters 2, and PR, which is Phoenix Reloaded, stayed in Masters 2. So it was a bit of a long week. Red Thorn had a bit of a rocky start, but pulled it together, so that was a good thing. And the CFF 69 event just finished up this weekend. Team JJB, which was Team 9, versus Team Miss P, Team 6. Team 9 ended up taking the win. It turns out getting a 69 on a base is much more difficult than anyone thought. So,
Yeah, they don't always just give it up real easy, do they?
well, it's like you're attacking and you're watching the percentage rate, and you're at 68, and by the time you hit quit attack, something manages to get that extra percentage in, and all of a sudden you're at 70% or 71.
You could be in the middle of smashing and, it's the opportunity just comes and goes.
Yeah, it was rough. And special thanks to Mords for streaming the event. Did a great job as always. It was a lot of fun and lots of laughs. And July 7th will feature the newest event in the CFF repertoire, the TWSS event, where only female troops can be used. So it's going to be really interesting to see who can be creative enough to triple or 1-star or 2-star.
Yeah, I just walked right into one of those moments yesterday. I was paying for my Coke Zero. That's right, Coke Zero, the one that refreshes me.
Take that
And
note.
I went to go pay for it,
Mm-hmm.
and I put the card in the machine too quickly, and so I looked at the cashier lady, and I said, "Boy, I just stuck that in way too early, didn't I?" And she just looked at me. I wasn't planning anything. I wasn't
Oh my
trying to,
gosh.
and I just looked at her, and I said, "That's what she said."
Oh no.
She was like, "Well, my husband would have said that." So,
Oh, that's hilarious. So there's still time for people to sign up for the TWSS event. Just get into the CFF server, and there's a thread there. All you do is just post your account name and town hall level, and the event is open to anybody in the friends and family. Town hall 9 to 15.
yeah, and if you need any practice, just go buy some Coke Zero and say something, and maybe a
Something
little off
inappropriate at the
color.
grocery.
Yeah, a little off color. Got to work the gray. Yeah, work the gray areas, Kat. That's what I say.
Right. All right,
All right.
let's jump into the update stuff.
Yeah. No, I still want to talk about innuendo. Can I?
Oh,
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So sneak peek season. It's upon us. All the big creators are out there saying stuff and
mm-hmm.
showing stuff. So it's afoot. We think tomorrow, right?
Yep, that's what we're guessing.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's gonna be interesting. It seems like main village content. Obviously, that's all the sneak peeks are, and that's kind of interesting because people have been wanting this since probably since around Christmas time.
Mm-hmm.
First and foremost, thank you to Supercell. They have ditched the Super Troop 3-day bondage, so you are not married to them for 3 days. You can now cancel them. So the sneak peeks are showing that. Now, what we don't know is obviously you're not going to be refunded. But
Mm-hmm.
what I don't know is if there's actually a cancellation cost. Like, is it going to cost you an extra $5,000 to cancel? Who knows?
Yeah, according to what I've seen in the sneak peeks, no, it's just that you're not going to be refunded. So, if you spent 25,000 dark to unlock super drags and you decide all of a sudden that you don't want them, you can hit the cancel button, but you don't get any of that DE back. Or if you used a potion, you don't get a potion back.
Yeah, I think it's a step in the right direction, but it's not done yet. But I don't think we're ever going to get to where I think we need to be, and that is any single war attack. You can just build your army like a friendly war, where you don't have to even worry about unlocking. Unlocking can be for your farm hits, unlocking can be for your legends hits,
Hmm.
but because what do we do to watch the best players? We watch them all get to pick a very special army for every single base.
Yeah.
And obviously we can do that in scrims and friendly wars, but the thing that kind of excites you to play, at least me these days, you watch the pros and you're like, maybe that'd be worth a try. That's a different approach I've never tried, but I've got to wait X days. Well, now I can cancel that, but then I'm stuck with that for 3 days,
Hmm.
So I think it's a start. I'd love to get to there though.
Yeah, I guess baby steps, right? It's a huge improvement over what it was. Something we've been asking for a very long time.
Yep, and we have been
Yeah.
begging, whining like babies when we're not using innuendo. All right, a pet potion.
Yay.
What do you say, Kat?
I say hallelujah.
Yeah, it's overdue. It might have actually been almost like an oversight that it didn't come out when with pets. It feels
Hmm.
like all those buildings have had a potion. Um, yeah, it's just overdue. I'm glad we're getting it though. We've got what 10 pet levels of upgrading. Whether people actually do them or not is interesting to think because the Lassie is Lassie.
Yeah. I mean, it'll be helpful on my 14 because I am working on pets for my 14. So that'll be a big help for me there. But, you know,
Yeah.
most 15s, I don't think they use those pets at all.
hmm maybe the owl a little. I guess the owl's better than Lassie, but that doesn't still make
Yeah.
it like high up on the list now, does it?
Yeah. But in future, you never know, you might need it. And for people who are just starting their upgrade journey, then it would definitely come in very handy.
Yeah. How about a Builder Star Jar?
Well, that's exciting.
It lets you skip the cooldown on the Builder Base star bonus. So you just jump right into your next X amount of attacks for the bigger bonus. Because what I've found on this so far is that, yeah, while it is a little more fun than it used to be,
Hmm.
geez, when you're upgrading defenses, you aren't farming a lot of elixir at all. Like if your Mega Tesla's down or something, you're getting 200% at a lot, or at least I
Yeah.
am. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's taken a while.
Yeah. To be honest, I have not spent a lot of time on the new builder base,
I
and
don't even know you anymore.
it's it is mildly more fun than it used to be, but it's not. My main interest is the main village, and builder base and clan capital are kind of side things. So I'm
That
not really worried about the whole speeding up the bonus. Whereas I know a lot of people probably are. So to be fair to them.
How do you expect to get a creator code for us when you're out here crapping all over Supercell's hardware,
I'm
Cat?
sorry. I will now dedicate myself to builder base completely.
That's better. Hearing cash registers ringing up all over the place. Okay, so it does seem like its offense is mostly an offensive upgrade, but that doesn't mean we're not going to have Eagles and Scatters and Teslas joining
Hmm.
the theme. Builder huts as well. There are a lot of trap levels too, so it's not like defense is being ignored now, is it?
No, no, and I mean we knew it was coming because with every town hall they want all the defenses to match the art theme. So from the graphics that I've seen, there the art looks really nice on them. So
Yeah.
kind of scared to see what the scatter shots are going to do to us, but
Oh, the same thing they're doing to me anyway.
crushing.
Oh, let's see. Skelly spell, level 8. So you get an extra
Hmm.
little Skelly guy. Okay. Meh. Clone level 8 increases your capacity to 42. So what even is 42? Well, 42 is a big number. It will get you, theoretically, a Force Super Whiz if you're into cloning those. I don't know anyone who is.
Hmm.
It could theoretically clone 3 extra healers, but what's the value if they're going to expire? I don't know how long clone troops hang around, like what, 20, 30, I don't know. A little while, but not forever. So, yeah, okay, thank you, but what are we, I wonder how that could be used.
Well, You could see maybe a bit of a return to a popcorn blimp. You never know.
It would get you an extra balloon. It would get you, instead of 19 cloned minions, it would get you 21.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, it would get you 14 cloned sneaky gobs. I can go down the list if you want. Show my ad
That's
hoc
good.
math skills. We good? Okay.
Carry on.
Dark Barracks, level 10. A baby warden, the apprentice warden.
Hmm.
20 housing space.
Which
It
is big.
boosts. Yeah, it is, but it does boost the hit points a really large amount. Like, imagine socking one of those dudes on a king, like
Hmm.
30%. Oof. I mean, the level 90 king is what it's going to be. I don't know, some obscene amount of hit points. And
Yeah,
just
and there's
imagine.
no ceiling on how much he can boost, right? Like, it doesn't say he can only boost a maximum of X number of hit points. The sky's the limit. So as high as your troop goes, he's going to boost it.
And I see Judo has already wrecked everyone's day by suggesting correctly that what a defensive CC troop that would be.
Yeah.
Especially if it's floating near a Titan or some heroes. Oh my goodness. um,
There goes your triple, right?
right, right. Well, yeah, a what?
You're perfect. Your perfect triple rate.
Oh, I only get those in Builder Base. Um, so yeah, interesting. So I you wonder when you hear Apprentice Warden, so it's kind of like a spin-off of a hero. Is it
Hmm.
going to also have an ability? And we also see regular troops having abilities over in Builder Base. So,
Yeah.
but I haven't heard anything about that, seen anything about that. But who knows what the future will hold?
He does not fly.
Well, forget it then. All
Delete the
right.
game.
Yeah, right. Well, who isn't there right now? Well, those who are, maybe this will cheer you up. Super Hogs.
Yeah.
This is a really cool looking thing now.
Yeah.
Especially when it splits into two.
Hmm.
I've heard people describe it as like a self-enclosed hybrid.
Yeah.
But look, it's only 12 housing space. Usually you see those jumps by a lot higher factors, right? So that's what 240% of its regular troop. Oh, the super barbs are 500% of the troop space of its normal companion.
Hmm.
Super archers, it's what 1200%. I mean, that's only 240%, meaning you're going to be able to fit a large amount of those bad boys into an army, which
Yeah.
is kind of neat to think. May hogs come back in vogue, but Trample had great points on our last episode. Springs are still going to be beastly, but 12 housing space suddenly makes springs a little bit less of a factor now, doesn't it?
Yeah. And I've heard a lot of good things about it. Apparently Itsu was using it with Queen Charge and doing quite well, as he always does on any of his attacks. But
Well, yeah, let's consider who it is.
yeah, it'd be interesting to see what us average players can do with it. I'm really excited to try it out because it's something that I think has been a long time coming, and it's got a really cool ability where it splits into a hog and a rider, and both troops keep attacking
Hmm.
after its initial destruction. So yeah, and wonder how that will play out in terms of triples.
Yeah, yep. And I know we're going to touch on this a little bit down the road, but I think some of the new troop levels are the more interesting things to me because, at least for me, it's enough to get me to be like, all right, maybe we'll try something new for 2023 finally.
Yeah, and I think that's something that we're all craving, is just to try something different.
Hmm.
Mix it up a bit, and anything that other than Sarch. Just
Right,
like,
right.
please. I mean, I know it's effective usually, but the bases have caught up.
Oh, they're evil for that now. I
Yeah,
mean, you can stop almost anything in Legends if you're
yeah.
guarding against that. Um,
So
yeah, I back to the point though about the super troops, like you really want to help people make it more interesting. Just the canceling is going to be a huge deal. So
Yeah.
that's good.
Yeah.
I'm not really going to be able to take advantage of that for a while because we're going to be upgrading heroes. So, but I'll let you transition into that as you were.
All right. Well, we're also going to get walls. Yay. I
Yeah,
know.
something to eat up gold, you know.
Which we're going to need. Walls will be on the
We're,
back burner for a while, but
mhm.
it'll be nice because uh, it's kind of a pain to have mismatched walls. So eventually it'll give us something to do once we finish catching up on everything else that we need to do.
Yeah, and it's always been a great place to sink elixir when you're
Mm-hmm.
done with the warden and done with troops. But what about troops, Kat?
What about troops? Well, here's where we're going to really get excited. There's a lot of troops. A lot of troops are getting another level. Goblins, P.E.K.K.A.s, Valks, healers, dragons, hogs. Did I say hogs? No. Hogs, bowlers, baby dragons, yetis, ice golems. And of
Oh,
course, that means that the corresponding super troop will also get a new level. So everything in offense is getting a huge buff. Healers, my gosh, when is the last time healers got a level? I can't even remember.
is it 13? I can't remember. It's been a bit of a time.
It's been a
Um,
long time,
yeah,
but
but
I'm super excited that they are because I'm not very good at it, but I love doing queen charges.
you know what they really need to do instead of upgrading troops is like, have you ever played like a car racing game like Forza Motorsport,
Mhm.
the old Gran Turismo? You could turn on the racing line and just like know like the best place on the track for your car to be. What I need is like, okay, here's your army, you schmuck. You're hitting this base. Here is exactly hit this dot with this troop.
I'm kind of like in the practice
Yeah, yeah.
levels that they give us.
No, not kind of like, exactly like.
Place your king here. Place your queen here.
Yeah, yeah. So, you can give me a
Hit ability now.
level 9,000 king and I'm still getting I'm winning that 69% war.
Oh my gosh. Be lucky if you got to 69.
Aren't we all?
So, yeah. So, I mean, there's like lots of different posts about all the different troops, like, their percentages and all that stuff. So, I'm not going to dive into that here, but is there a particular one that you're excited about, Fado?
Hogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ice golems. I mean, I'd be more interested on how long the ice golems keep things frozen and if their radius grows more
Hmm.
so than HP. Baby dragons. Nah. I mean, I never really used Inferno drag, so it's hard to say. But just hogs. Give me a chance to spend a month or two or whatever it's going to take screwing around with it and see if it's fun.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see. Like, I know Trample was really excited about Valkyries because he does use them in some of his attacks, and I would love to see Valks become useful again because they're pretty. They're one of those kind of like golems. They're kind of like a forgotten, useless troop at Town
Yeah.
Hall 15.
Now, when I was watching one of the sneak peek vids, there was two elixir storages with an archer tower behind it, and there was a space between all of them.
Hmm.
What was interesting to me was this is how long it's been since I used those suckers, but the Valk didn't go into a gap to start attacking both buildings. I thought she was supposed to. Or is it only when they're directly adjacent, like no space in between whatsoever?
I think there has to be one tile for her to go between them.
Yeah, and so I think it was Itsu. He dropped the Valk on, toward one of the elixir storages, but it didn't like run behind it to also hit the archer tower, which was
And that's interesting.
I don't maybe I'm forgetting how it should be, or maybe I don't know. I
Oh,
always thought it looked for adjacent targets and was like the nearest target and then hit it and an adjacent building. But I
right, because it's
obviously have the logic wrong.
yeah, like she attacks anything, right? She doesn't have a preferred target.
Usually the one I don't prefer.
Yeah, don't hit that. Hit the defense that's shooting
Right.
you.
But yeah, that's I mean that's not unique to the Valk for me.
Exactly. P.E.K.K.A.s, I'd love to see those get used more. The content creators that put out videos didn't seem terribly thrilled with them, but we'll see. See how they do. I usually if I use them, I use them as a a funneling troop. And I know,
Yeah, I guess. But they just attack so slow that like Skellies can just wreck
yeah,
Pekka's day.
yeah,
And I think it was Itsu who pointed out like why use a Pekka when you can use an E-Titan.
that's true. Yeah, he did mention that.
And I think it was it's 7 extra troop space, but you get a lot more value, I think, with its ability just to slowly damage what's around it. And
Hmm.
the downfall of those beasts is always Skellies and things like that, pups. So
Yeah, I'll be interested to see if Super Bowlers make more of a comeback. I know there's a few people in Redthorn that do use them quite effectively. I have trouble with them at Town Hall 15, but
so
with the
you're
new
saying
bowler level,
we also have people that use them ineffectively? Because I fall in that quite
I
comfortably.
would fall in that category as
Yeah.
ineffective. But there's a few people, Lolly and Kronk, who are really, really good with them. So I'm sure they're pretty excited about the idea of a new level. And we're going to get new siege machine levels on 2 machines. The Wall Wrecker is getting level 5, and the Stone Slammer is getting level 5 as well.
Eh,
Not sure whether Wall Wrecker people will use it. It's good, but I think it's very slow, and I think a log launcher is, to me, is my go-to
mhm.
on that.
Yeah, with the wrecker, you really need to tank for it because
Hmm.
it doesn't have that expiring health, but by the same token, it doesn't defend itself at all. So,
Yeah,
um,
and the Stone Slammer is kind of interesting because I do use that on some of my accounts, and it is so tanky at level 4. So I think level 5 will really make it a lot more viable at 15.
yeah, five is bigger than 4. So,
Much bigger. Pets. Let's talk about the pets that we're going to get.
yeah,
Well,
turning back to this, huh? Yeah,
Lassie and the Yak.
I think I said owl before, but who
Yeah.
cares, right? These are the ones no one are
Poor
using. But
Al is not getting a level. Just Lassie and the Yak. And I mean, does anybody at 15 use Lassie? I don't think so.
no, no, not Lassie. But on a case by case basis, I think there could be a good use for the yak though,
Yeah.
because the yak with a king could just get through a wall in no time. So if you have a decent funnel, I don't know what you're giving up for it, but I mean, sometimes the things you're already pairing with, for instance, a warden, like I
Hmm.
don't know. I don't know. I'm using the poison lizard on that guy, right? That's Peter's poison lizard. I think that
Oh,
was
yeah.
his favoriteest Town Hall 15 guy.
It
Um,
is kind of cute.
yeah, yeah, and it's effective against skellies.
Hmm.
But back to our friends, the yak. God, when they took away its splash damage too, that annoyed me. Like
Yeah,
maybe,
they really nerfed it.
yeah, yeah. Lassie is a shrug of the shoulders for me, but
Hmm.
I can
Yeah,
see uses for the yak.
I'm pretty happy with the Town Hall 15 pets, and other than the unicorn, I don't see myself going back to using either Lassie or the Yak, but I could be proven wrong. We shall see. Hero levels. So our beloved heroes are each getting another 5 levels at 15. So level 90 for the King and Queen. The Warden's going to get level 65, and the RC level 40.
It's time to get boosting those collectors, isn't it?
It is. Hope you bought lots of hero books.
Nah, no, I'm taking my time with this one.
Yeah.
I think so. I don't have a ton. The thing with me on this is I'm probably going to feel this more as an attacker going up against defensive 90s. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
a defensive level 90 king, it's going to take forever. And it makes me wonder why they didn't include a new headhunter level. But we'll see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for everybody to get upgraded, so we won't really see the full impact for a few months, I think.
So you do accounting. Have you piled up how much money it would cost to gem through all this stuff yet?
I haven't. I think I saw somebody posting something on Twitter about the length of time that it would take X number of months to max everything out if you didn't buy the gold pass. But I
It was
can't even imagine what it would cost.
I mean it's probably about a good solid 2 or 3 weeks worth of ad revenue for us, isn't
Yeah. Oh yeah. Sponsors sign up here.
it?
I'll be happy to gem my base to max. So another thing that they're bringing in, for those of you who have tons of SCCWL medals that you don't know what to do with, you're going to be able to purchase using medals the League War scenery and League hero skins. So I think the war scenery looks really cool. And I think that was 2,400 medals, if I'm not mistaken. And then the king is going to be the Titan King. The queen is the Champion Queen. And let's see, the RSC is the Masters, and the Warden is Crystal. Not really sure why they did Crystal, why they didn't call him the Legendary Warden, but
they're not listening to you up there in Finland, are they?
Apparently not. Apparently, a number of the creators are saying that they feel that the cost is too expensive for medals.
Oh, the people swimming in our money say it's too expensive.
Well, because it's not real cash; it's SCCWL medals, right? So,
I got to take you to the dark web. It's a currency unto itself.
Oh my gosh! But we'll see. I mean, if I wouldn't be surprised if they don't reduce it somewhat in the future. But they are pretty cool looking, and I do want them.
Kat, I just thought of something about the clone spell.
Yeah.
You can now get 7 regular bowlers instead of 6 with the new clone spell.
Ooh,
That's breaking news during breaking news.
Fado had a thought. Breaking news.
And another one, you can now get a 7th headhunter in the clone instead of just 6.
Interesting.
Let me know. I can keep going.
You want to keep going?
I can.
No.
Okay.
Balance changes. Let's talk about some balance changes. Miners and / super miners are going to get a buff. The spell towers are going to get a slight nerf. They're going to take longer to deploy. There's all kinds of charts out there that show how many seconds it takes now, and then once the update drops, how many seconds it'll take. So it's basically a nerf. The Eagle is less likely to target healers, and the Grand Warden will also be less likely to follow barbs and archers. I know that's a comfort to many people. The siege machines, and I'm on the fence about this, but they're going to deploy troops faster than before, which seems like a buff. However, I saw a couple of videos today where they showed the blimp dropping all the troops out, and the old way, your trash troops would set off the giant bombs and your super archers would come out after, and so your super archers would still live, right? But with the new speed, most of the super archers died because they came out too fast.
Yeah, you combine that with the spell tower, which you're saying could be a nerf, but also be a buff, because sometimes you can trick a poison tower to trigger where you don't want it to. But now that's not as cheap anymore. So is that necessarily a nerf? Maybe not.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out.
Kat, did you realize with the new clone you can get an 8th giant in your
I'm shocked.
An 8th.
I did not know that. You're brilliant, Fado.
I am. It doesn't change the ice golems, so you can still only get 2 of those cloned if you're trying to clone those.
I am just stunned speechless.
That's what I'm here for.
Oh my gosh. And of course, there's going to be a ton of cost reductions that are too numerous to go through here. So what do you think, Fado?
I think you're trying to speed through this before I could drop more Clash math on you.
No more math. It hurts my brain. Is it going to buff ground, or it's going to stay air, do you think?
I know it's going to get me trying a lot more ground because, same old for weeks or months on end. Even if you're like, when the builders have all adjusted to it, but it's still all that you feel like doing. And I'm not saying good at, because I'm not good at it. It's all I feel like doing. Oh, got 8 of these to do today. Better just, there's a 1-star. So what? It's not as invested in progress at all. But now it's like, all right, maybe there's something new to try. And the more it opens up the meta, the more diverse the bases get, which means there might be more weak spots now for some of your favorite attacks, whether it's there or not. So suddenly you find yourself, geez, this meta worked great against, name your Lalo or Drag or whatever, but it's getting absolutely smoked now by Super Hogs.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it'll be a really fun few weeks to see what people are coming up with and to see if it sort of re-energizes people, because I know a number of people are just quite literally they're bored because it's super archers all the time. And yes, someone could say, well, change it up, do something different. But it's really the only thing that's working right now at Town Hall 15. And it's not even working to give you a triple. And part of the reason for Supercell doing so much in this June update, from what I've heard, is that they have confirmed that they felt that Town Hall 15 was too hard for people and they wanted to boost the triple rate.
Oh, good on them.
Let's see if we can triple after this.
Do you know with that clone, you can get a 5th Valk now out of the clone, Kat?
Amazing.
A 5th Valk.
5? Really?
5.
That's incredible.
It is. Listen to
dragons.
Kat.
How many dragons am I going to get?
Hey, guess what? I got news for you. You're going to get a second one.
Oh my God. So Fado, let me ask you a serious question.
Good luck.
Do you think the Clash of Clans team does a good enough job communicating to the player base on upcoming updates? I kind of see on Twitter and in the various feeds some of the other games, such as Clash Royale and Brawl Stars. They kind of put out these teasers in game and on Twitter about, watch soon, the upcoming balance changes, quality of life improvements, major update coming, just to sort of build the hype. And one thing I've always felt is that Clash of Clans has always held that information really close to the chest. And the content creators dole out little tidbits to us 3 days prior to an update dropping, as we see this weekend. I think the communication's gotten a lot better since they've brought in community managers such as Darian. But it's still just let us know. They don't have to give us details to say, hey, you guys, just so you know, there will be an update in June.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I think there's a lot of room for improvement, especially the way you framed it. I have no choice but to agree with you or face my firing. But when there's that almost a malaise, right? Everyone's just like, this is boring. It's not fun. It's too hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, people are going to get frustrated and leave, or and that's the last thing you want is like people who are by now, come on, we're customers. You don't want them throwing up their hands like, screw it, not getting my money. This is boring. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going back to Angry Birds.
Yeah. Well, and there was somebody in a friend's clan that did that. They were frustrated because they haven't been able to triple, so they basically rage quit in the middle of war. Said, I'll be back if and when there's ever an update. Well, 3 days later, he's back because there's going to be an update. But there's probably some people that are just quitting and they're saying, I'm done with it.
And that's a shame. It's really a shame. I mean, what would really lure them back in probably is knowing the clone spell can give them a 4th baby dragon.
I know that would bring me back.
A 4th baby dragon in a clone.
4.
Unraged because they're all on top of each other. Stupid beasts. But yeah, I mean.
How many archers would you get?
Well, hold your breath. 42.
Oh my God.
I mean, it's a dance party out there.
All right. On that note, let's do some fun stuff here. Top 5 summer grilling things that you eat at a cookout.
All right, I couldn't work clone spells into this, but let's just go with good old number 5 is bratwursts. Make and the ones that just snap when you bite into them. Oh yes. Okay.
Now I went with not necessarily things that have to be grilled, but things that I will be eating at a cookout. So my number 5 is coleslaw. I love coleslaw.
I'm not. I don't know what it is about coleslaw, but I'm just a hard pass on that.
Okay, what's your number 4 then?
Potato salad. Nice mustardy potato salad.
My number 4 is also potato salad. Great minds think alike.
Oh, there you go.
What's your number 3?
Jello shots. I mean, it's kind of food, right?
Well, I need to rework mine.
Right, yeah, something that makes you want to peel that tank top off and whip it over your head. Crack open one of your Jello shots. Yes.
No?
No?
My number 3 is chicken. which you had to actually grill and would not cause you to rip your shirt off.
I go to cookouts to eat flavorful food. What is this? What kind of chicken? If you say you like chicken breast, I mean, come on.
No, you can't. You got to grill dark meat.
Yes, thighs, right?
So yeah, preferably chicken thighs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Okay. You won me back. I'm not quitting.
Okay. What's your number 2?
My number 2 is the good old hot dog. USA.
Yeah, there's really nothing like a grilled hot dog, is there?
My number 1. It's kind of like it, but better.
Okay, my number 2 is steak.
Oh, you go to fancy posh cookouts.
Well, because that's probably the only time I would cook a steak these days because they're so priced out of my price point.
Yep. Number 1 for Kat's going to be some fancy posh prawn sandwich or something, right?
Oh, very, very posh. What's your number 1?
Cheeseburger. All day, all night, smashed onto a griddle.
Yeah, my number 1 is also hamburgers, especially if I can mix them with like some jalapenos and cheese.
You know, I've watched some Trailer Park Boys, and there seems to be a lot of disagreement on how Canadians pronounce jalapeno. Give me some jalapeno chips, Ricky.
Jalapeno.
Okay, you do it right. Okay.
Thank you.
Kudos to you.
All right. Let's move on to some shout outs.
You just want me to log off at this point. I am of sound mind tonight, and you may think you're
I'm just
crazy.
afraid you're going to come up with more clone spell information.
What's to be afraid of a 7th minor and a clone spell that
7.
used to not be there? So shout out to the mathematicians. Magnus gets a big shout out for his behind the scenes work with making sure CWL goes like it does for us. And there's no like hidden insult or anything wrapped in there, because some might say, well, it doesn't go well for us. No, it goes about as well as can be expected, because we don't always have super responsive people, but we manage to get it done. I should say he manages to get it done. And, in the middle of all the things he's got going on, he's also said, no, don't worry, I'll figure out bonuses. I'll do this, I'll do that. So massive shout out to him.
For sure.
Massive shout out to Susie from Susie Gaming. She responded to a DM from me, so she gets a shout out. That just made my day. But I wasn't doing anything, off brand or anything. I wasn't saying, hey, Susie, how about you give me free co? Nothing like that. So yeah. Any other shout outs? No, just and the rest of the crew. You know who you are. Thank you for being there, and thank you for listening.
All right. My shout outs. I'm going to shout out Joel and Penn over at The Rated. They're a couple of co-leaders there, and they really helped me hold the fort down. And
wonderful guys.
Yeah, super, super great guys, OG Rated people. And they just show up and do what they need to do. And it's lots of fun having them around.
Shout out to Coke Zero, too.
Yeah, can't forget that.
The Drink of Champions.
I also want to shout out the clone spell.
Yes.
Can't forget the clone spell.
You do know you're going to get an 8th balloon in the clone spell now, starting Monday with your upgrade.
I'm going to shout out Trample Damage for teaching Fado how to count. And thank you, everybody, for listening. The CFF is a family of clans who love to play games such as Clash of Clans and Clash Royale, among others. You can send questions or comments to us on Twitter at RedThornCOC. To get more information on our clans, events, and podcasts, join the CFF Discord at discord.gg/clash5.